Across Cape Ann, lobstering has been a way of life for tens of thousands of people for generations. Massachusetts has the country's second largest lobster harvest after Maine, and Gloucester is the state's #1 port for lobstering. Over the last 100 years, the lobster industry has endured many changes in processing, equipment, regulations, and fishing methods. In 1871, the government began to put lobstering regulations in place. At that time, it was on the use of soft-shelled lobsters and buried female lobsters, as well as size restrictions. Before that, lobstering had been largely unregulated. In fact, lobsters were so abundant in the early days that the inhabitants of the Massachusetts Bay Colony found lobsters washed up on the beach in piles. In the 1950s, the demand and prices of lobster soared, and lobster has been firmly categorized as a delicacy food ever since. Before that time, lobster was mostly sold in cans at a fairly low price. Today, the market demand for lobster remains high, but the industry has been acutely impacted by trade tariffs and increasingly heavy regulations. Beyond lobstering, New England's fishing industry as a whole is curbed by increased regulation, which is designed for a variety of reasons, but mostly under the banner of keeping our oceans sustainable. The rising threat of climate change and heavy regulations puts forth a complicated and uncertain future on lobster, which is the most commercially valuable species to be harvested in our local waters. Follow 1623 Studios to get direct news on this issue from local stakeholders, including lobstermen, scientists, and business leaders.